بودكاست معرفة. What's the main skill set that is required to be able to debate efficiently?
Main is the logic. Logic and how well can you convince. So many a times you may know the truth, but how to use the truth to make it fit your point of view. So one thing I have to always say that Quran says, وَقُلْ جَعَلَكْ وَذَكَرْ بَاطِلٍ الْبَاطِلَ زَهُوقًا. That's a fact. That when truth is hurled against falsehood, falsehood perishes. For falsehood is by its nature bound to perish. That is practical. But debate, this doesn't happen always. But what the Quran says is practically truth will win. But in a debate, it's a perception. Debate may not be always the truth, how you present yourself. If the opponent is weak, and if he's for Islam, and the person on the other side is a good debater, he will defeat. That doesn't mean Islam is weak. So therefore, debate, this point of the Quran is a reality. It is not meant for debate. So in a debate, I have to always tell my student that don't let the person who has the maximum knowledge to go and debate. Let a person who has the debating skills to go. So a person has average knowledge and good debating skill is a better debater than a person who has extreme good knowledge but has no skills of debating. Even if he has less knowledge, he can prove his point. So debating is an art, which Shaykh Didat, mashallah, had that. And we built on it. So debating is a skill. It's a different thing. A person who's a good speaker. Unfortunately, we don't have debaters in our Muslim community.
Do we need debaters in our Muslim community today?
Of course we need. And at the time of Didat, we required more. That time of the time. Now, of course, debating is not a must. But there should be some people who should be prepared. So when there is someone, a lion doesn't have to roar. If they know, so, but of course, if there's a point when someone challenges, what are you going to do? You cannot say, I'm not a debater, I will go. Okay, then you send somebody else. For the debater, we do require. Quran says, Udu ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wal ma'adhat al hasna wajadilum billati ahsan. Surah Nahl chapter 16, verse 24. Invite all to the way of the Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching and argue with them. Some of the translations and debate with them. In the ways that are best and most gracious. So debate is the word given in the Quran. Wajadilum billati ahsan. So, of course, I remember Shaykh Didat used to tell me, and even to me, whenever we went on a stage, and the organizers used to call us to do dawah, they used to say, Shaykh Zakir, please speak with hikmah, telling me to be soft. So indirectly, going on the stage, there are non-Muslims, so you speak with hikmah. Same thing with Didat. You speak with hikmah. What did they tell you? Be soft. So, and Shaykh Didat rightly says, and then I built on that if you read the verse of the Quran of Surah Nahl, chapter 16, verse 125, when you ask these people, what is the context? Only Hafiz can give, the others can't. The context of this verse is, if you start at the ruku in Surah Nahl, chapter 16, verse 20, it says that Ibrahim alayhi salam is a beautiful example. And what did Ibrahim alayhi salam do? He broke the idol. So hikmah doesn't mean being soft. Hikmah means saying the right thing at the right time. And I do agree, most of the time you have to be soft. But it's not only soft. So people fail to realize they think hikmah means soft.
Hikmah is not soft.
Hikmah doesn't mean soft, but most of the time it should be soft. So Shaykh Didat was like a mashallah mujahid, the warrior, most of the time militant. And then you have Jamal Badawi, most of the time soft. So I tell my students, you have to be versatile. When required, be like Shaykh Didat or be like Jamal Badawi, So a dai should be versatile.
How do you read the room?
Yes,
and
that's the experience. That's the thing. People say, why were you so harsh? So Quran says, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلِ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Surah Nahl chapter 16, verse 43. Surah Anbiya chapter 21, verse number 7. That if you don't know, ask the person who is an expert. So the expert is a one who knows when to say what. When you have to use the stick, when you have to use the carrot, when you have to be soft, when you have to be harsh. So hikmah doesn't mean always being soft. Most of the time is soft. But sometimes you have to be, and I give the example. If your son has seen on the television Superman, and he wants to jump from the 10-story building, from your house. Dad, I want to be Superman, I want to jump. What will you do? Don't jump, he wants to jump. You may slap him. Slapping, there is hikmah. No, listen. You cannot say, no, please son, don't, I want to jump. And he is going, what are you going to do? No, son, you have to give one tight slap. So at the right time, you have to do the right thing. So at that time, Shaykh Ahmed Didat, what he did at that time was the best. Now the times have changed. The Christian missionaries, they picked on the Quran, they attacked the Quran, and no Muslim could reply. Now the times have changed. So Sheikh Deedat alone took the whole Christendom single-handedly. Alhamdulillah. He was great. Of course, now the times have changed. Now debate most of the time will not be required. People are not there. Of course, we debated a lot one-to-one on the stage. And then now people want to debate to become famous. So I put a clause. You want to debate me? You have to get minimum 2% of my largest audience alone. My largest audience is more than 1 million people. So if you can get 20,000 people alone, for your alone talk, solo talk, not a conference, other people are there. If you can get 20,000 for your talk alone, that means you are fit to debate with 2%. And that's not a 2%. I'm not saying get the same audience.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is not illogical. There are hundreds of speakers who are Christians and Hindus who can get 100,000. But they will never debate because they are popular, they're getting money from their followers, their main aim is to make money. They wouldn't be fools to debate with me. So there are many small Christians, oh God, you debate with me, I'm there. I said, Khalas. If you can't give it to someone, you convince your Christian brother who can get more than 20,000 people, give him a medal and debate with me. So the last time I remember I debated was with Shri Ravi Shankar. Shri Ravi Shankar was 2006.
Okay. That was your last debate?
Last big public debate. Small level, of course. We meet on a public level. One-to-one. We have had, and recently in Doha I had one, just 2 weeks back. That's another story. But that's one-to-one. On a public level, and there were more than 50,000 people. And actually he didn't do his homework. He didn't know who I was. And he's very famous. He was the most famous Hindu in the world at that time. He alone could get for his talk 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. He was very famous. So I went to his town. And a person, a Muslim from in between the organizer, and I went there.
In India?
And in India, in Bangalore. I'm from Bombay, I went to Bangalore. And then I think he realized in the ending. So the format was, he would speak.
Yeah.
He would speak first. No, he would speak first. And I would speak, then he would speak, then I would speak. And he agreed. One day before he puts the clause, no, you speak first.
Different tactic if he speaks first or if you speak first? Or if you speak
no,
first?
Makes a difference. World of a difference. The person last speaker always gets a better opportunity. He can clarify the points. If both are good debaters, the person who speaks last gets an opportunity, gets an upper hand. So others won't come. Now the thing is publicized for months, and one day before he put it, I said, okay, we agreed to speak for 40, 40 and 20, 20. Let's put a format. I speak first for 50 minutes. You speak for 1 hour. I speak for 10 minutes. He said, done.
At least you get the last...
10 minutes. He agreed. Okay. For 50 minutes, you speak 1 hour. And I spoke, of course, I had less time. I took my full 50 minutes. Maybe he spoke for half a minute more. There was a timer. He hardly spoke for half an hour. He had no matter. So after half an hour, half an hour, he wanted to end, and 35 minutes he stopped. And then I spoke for 10 minutes, and it was very clear. It was so clear about the debate that he threatened me on the stage. And it was a live telecast on the opening of our satellite channel, Peace TV English. It was live.
So it was beginning of the Peace TV.
Peace TV, 2006, January 26th, if I'm not mistaken. 2006, it was the first live. The channel started with a live telecast of a debate. And more than 50,000 people all over the world is going. And he threatened me on the stage that, see to it, you don't telecast again, otherwise there'll be riots. So I told him, now there are no rights. Why will be rights? Now when going live, there are no rights.
Exactly.
So why should they be rights? So he was threatened me. And he may be one of the cause that, to make me, because he's very popular, he knows most of the politicians.
Yeah.
And he collects tens of millions of dollars. He's very popular. Anyway, that was very good. So that was the last time. And that time I started putting my clause. That time, of course, popularity was there. So anyone who can get more than 10,000 at the time, I used to say. Okay. He could get 200,000. So like him, or less than him, there are many. So what I'm putting is not illogical. There are tens of people in India, Hindus and Christians, who can get easily more than 20,000. All these people are evangelists. You go to America, you get...
Why did you stop after 2006?
I didn't stop. I'm willing now also, someone who's of caliber.
Of caliber?
Of course. Anyone who can get 20,000 for his talk, anywhere in the world. For a solo talk, I can debate with him. But if he's a speaker who's unknown, or who's good on the YouTube and has million views, 100,000 followers, that's nothing. If you get my views, if you get my followers on Facebook, I might debate with you. So my follow on the Facebook is 23.88 million as of a month before. 23.8. If you get 23 million, okay, I'll debate with you on the Facebook. So the thing is, I'm not going to debate with paper tigers,
Okay. What was the most memorable debate for you? One that you think maybe it's the hardest, maybe it was something happened.
The most difficult and academic was the one in America. I mean, I don't mind. We'll go back or we'll continue.
Yeah, we're going to continue to the foundation. But since we opened the debates, we'll close it.
I would say that Shishi Ravishankar was one of the important ones, but the most important one was with Dr. William Campbell. Dr. William Campbell, he wrote a book in the 90s, I think. He wrote a reply to Dr. Maurice Bucaille books. If you have heard of Dr. Maurice Bucaille.
No.
He wrote a book on Quran and Bible in the light of science. It was a book trying to prove that the verses of the Quran are compatible with modern science. He was a French non-Muslim who accepted Islam. He was the French Academy. And he wrote a book. And that was the most popular book on Quran and science. So William Campbell is a Christian missionary. He's a medical doctor, knows Arabic as a language. And he got a PhD in writing a book against Islam. So he published this book, Quran and Bible, of the similar topic. That was Quran and modern science.
Yeah.
Dr. Maurice Bucaille, he wrote a book, Quran and Bible in the light of science.
Okay.
And this book was used in the Western world against the Muslims. And he pointed about 30 scientific errors in the Quran.
Okay.
And no one could reply. So these Christian missionaries used to go to the Muslims in America, at the MSU, at the Muslim Students Foundation organization in Europe. See, this is a book. Reply. No one is replying. And he gave open challenge. So in 1998, I think, or 6, the people from Canada, they wanted to invite me for a dialogue with him. So I read the book. I said, okay, I'm prepared. In 1998.
Did you prepare especially for this one?
Of course, a lot. But first when I saw it, I said, okay, I'm a doctor. On the face of it, it was very difficult. So in 1998, the last moment they cancelled because they thought they could not make a lot of profit. Unfortunately, most of the people in the Western world, they are doing dawah for profit, for dunya, not for akhirah. I'm sorry to say that. Maybe we'll come to it later on. So then in Chicago, the students in Chicago, because the book was famous everywhere, the students in Chicago called me. And I have a policy of not to charge, but that time I didn't insist. So they charged about $10 per ticket. And they had about 2,000 seats, and it was filled. And there was, in the Muslim Ummah, there was division. Half of them said, what he did is wrong. Why are you calling Dr. Zakir Naik? Why you want to be insulted in public? And half said, no, we should answer, and he'll do a good job. Or I would say that more were against the debate. The elders and all, they said, the book is so popular, and that time I wasn't that famous. Anyway, the debate took place. The tickets were oversold. They were worried that they would be sued because they sold extra ticket thinking people would not come, and they turned up. The majority, a little bit, I think Muslims were more in number of people coming. But it was in Chicago, and it was very well done, and it was very successful. Allah's help was there. So much so that in Riyadh, when one of the medical doctors, just to give you a brief, he saw this debate and he wanted to meet me. I met him. He said, I'm a medical doctor. Normally, and I'm a fan of Deedat, but I've never watched a single debate of Deedat in one sitting. It takes me about 4 or 5 sittings, half an hour. The next day, half an hour. I cannot watch together. I've never done that. And Sheikh Deedat debate for 2 hours, some 3 hours, so I watch it in 4 or 5 seconds, half an hour, 45 minutes maximum. So it takes me 4 or 5 different days, maybe, to watch it. So once I went to my friend's house, and he was seeing the debate of William Campbell, and he heard William Campbell attacking the Quran. He spoke first, then I spoke. And he was shocked that what he's saying is a fact. He's saying, okay, this is the thing in embryology. And he said, we learned in embryology. So what he's saying is correct. That means Quran is wrong. So he heard it, knowing English well, being a Saudi. Then he saw me coming. So he saw it. So he could not stop the debate. He saw it. Then I came on the stage and he saw me the first time. He said, Khalas, this person is bought. They bought a Muslim. They paid him money. Who is this young person? Now I'm young, but that was the year 2000. So they saw me with a black beard and a young person, skinny person coming. So he was convinced that these people have paid to this Muslim to get humiliated. So he was very angry. But he said, I want to see what they reply.
Yeah.
And he said, the class, you're going to lose because he's a doctor. And this person is young, he's experienced, what will he reply? In Hindi, non-Arab. So when he heard the reply, he was so shocked, and he saw the full debate with the question and answer session. He wanted to meet me. And when I came to Riyadh, and that time I was to Riyadh often.
Yes.
And so the thing is that what he mentioned was, unless you don't have debating skill, you'll not be able to reply. See, many a time then debate is nothing to do with knowledge. It is something to do with logic.
Logic, huh?
Therefore, you may not, yes, if a person who has knowledge and has the skills, of course, it is nothing like it.
There is also a part of it emotion as well, don't you think?
In debate?
Emotion, yeah. Emotion in terms of being able to emotionally affect people.
That is a presentation skill.
Presentation skills, huh? Okay.
You are emotional and trying to win. That's called presentation skills.
Okay.
That's for every lecture, not only for debate.
Okay.
So I'm not talking about
like the charisma and stuff.
That's for a speaker.
Okay.
So that is part of debate.
Yeah.
But a person may have charisma but doesn't know how to debate, useless.
That's different. Yeah, that's different.
So in a public speech, when you give a public talk, according to research, the matter you speak carries only 7% of weightage. 93% is presentation skills. How do you modulate your gestures, your eye-to-eye contact? All this carries 93%. And that's another topic which you can speak fast together. But debate, this is there. That is separate. You have to have presentation skills to be on the stage. But if you're a good speaker, a very good speaker, but not a good debater, no, you should not go.
How do you stay, sometimes because when you're debating someone, they can be sometimes very charismatic and they can have very good points. And how do you stay cool, calm, collected, composed, and be able to to be able to explain your points in a very calm manner? Because once you lose your cool, you start losing the debate. How do you?
In the debate, you cannot lose your cool. If you lose your cool, that means not a good debate at all.
So how do you stay calm?
Not a debate, even in the question and answer session.
Yeah.
You cannot lose your cool. And there are people who experience to lose their cool, and we can come to know.
How do you stay cool? What is your?
That is by experience.
Experience.
You should not let your opponent who is debating you or your questioner to instigate you to lose your cool.
They try to do that. Huh?
Of course they try. So how do you counter them? Like I remember once, in India, Bombay is a very volatile city. I went to one of the IT college to do dawah. The Muslims called me, but the majority are non-Muslims. In the IIT again, very few are Muslims. So when you have students union come, the majority are non-Muslims. So one person who is supposed to be known to disrupt programs. Okay. The Muslims are a small number. The IIT is very internationally well known, one of the best of the colleges in the world, IIT. And one was a person, they are known to be like goons and big. So he entered, and people, Muslims are worried, okay, khalas, he's coming, he's going to disrupt our program. And the question answer started. So I told him, brother, don't call me brother. I'm not your brother. In Islam, every human being is a brother. If you're not a human being, you're not my brother. So how to reply at that time without getting angry?
To win the situation.
To win the situation. In a debate, you should not try and defeat your opponent. You should try and win him over. It is better to win over your opponent than to defeat him.
What do you mean win him over? Win him over?
Win him over.
You try to do that, huh?
You should do that. Not you should try. You should do that. See, when you defeat a person, you may win the boxing match, but you may lose him. If you win him over, you win the debate and you win him over also, you become the Muslim.
Did you win people that you've debated with?
Of course.
They accept Shahad?
Yes. But a popular person or the public will never do that. A normal person is. A one-to-one are many. So therefore, it's better to win him over. Win him over means he's coming on your side and he's on the winning side. You win him over. You win the debate and you win him over. If you defeat him, you win the debate but you lose him. Of course, in the top debates, we give a knockout to him. That's different.
That's different.
That's different. Because it's on a public level. Because when you give him a knockout, you're winning over 10,000 of his followers. He's a big figure. You can't try to be soft. You have to go for the kill. But with hikmah. You should look, you're very soft, but you should kill him. Kill him means a knockout. Sorry, not literally. It means go for the knockout. So you could see the difference that really this Shri Ravi Shankar is known as a man of peace. Many Hindus call him God. You understand? And he got irritated there. That was I won. I won the debate because you could see him getting frustrated, getting angry. He teaches people how to be peaceful, and he could not maintain himself. So I won. I was, Shri Ravi Shankar with all my, with hikmah, smiling, and he's getting more angry and I'm smiling more. You could see the difference. So anyone who knows Sri Ravi Shankar, so many of his followers were hardcore fans. They accepted Islam. When he came and touched my feet that we used to consider him God, now you are a God. I said, in Islam it's not so, So you could see the difference. So many of his followers made, and after that, he made an episode behind my back criticizing me. So many of his followers said, we are shocked at the nature of Sri Ravi Shankar. He, he's making videos behind back. He lost the debate and blah, 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 So from today, I'm not his follower. So many videos started popping up. And he had many followers in the West. He has more Western followers than me. He's known for that. So a person who talks about peace, who preaches people to be peace, he's known as ambassador of peace. He's getting angry. So
you got your win. That seems to me, I'm feeling that was your biggest win from the. If you were to say that.
No, compared to popularity, of course.
Yeah.
William Campbell was not that popular. As an academic, that was a
big
more
one.
difficult.
Yeah, more
difficult. You asked me which is what difficult.
That the other one was more.
An academic, that's academic.
Yeah.
This, of course, this is in popularity. This is much more popular. Then he sued me, saying he has copyrights. He didn't spend any money. We spent for the full organization. We spent for the recording. We took in writing we are going to record. We took in writing we are going to telecast it. Then he's suing me in the court for 10 crore rupees that we have copyright. Dr. Zakir Naik is making money.
Did you lose or win that?
Alhamdulillah.
You won. You said accepting people or winning people. And I really want to touch upon a point here, which is, I think, also is as important to mention. You've done a lot of events. And during those events, then during the Q&A, many of the times people accept Shahada.
That's called winning over.
That's called winning over.
How
are you able to read people to understand? And what is the strategy and the mindset behind those situations where you're able to win people over and you see this person might be able to accept Shahada now? Sometimes I've been watching some of the videos, out of nowhere you tell them, brother or sister, say Ashhadu an la ilaha, and they start saying it, but I didn't see that coming, but you saw it. So what is the strategy when you see people like this? What are the things that you think about?
And at the same time, you'll find sometimes I fire people. So my son asked me, my daughter asked me, why did you fire him? He was such a good person. You would have said Shahada. Now this is experience. When you come to know this person has come to disrupt the program. If I don't fire him, and you could see in Nigeria, this recent trip in Nigeria about 7 months back, 2 missionaries, I fired them. I said, have you come to preach here? You can really have the stadium tomorrow and call the people, they'll come to listen to you. So this is, you come to know, you should read between lines that this person is a person come to disrupt the program, or this person is a genuine person. So sometimes people tell me, why did you fire him? And sometimes people tell me, this person, he is known to be a troublemaker. How did you come to know you are the troublemaker? I'm seeing him the first time. So it is Allah's help. Many times, the way they ask.
Yeah.
So, of course, we are human beings. We can make mistakes. But Allah's help is there. So the way they ask questions, you can come to know this person asking a genuine question. And when a person asks a genuine question, if you cannot give the reply, so don't just fire him. So this is a mistake that many times people, when they don't know the answer, so they try to beat around the bush. So you have to realize that when you should be able to give an answer with hikmah, and when should be able to turn the tables over. And sometimes the question that a person asks has nothing to do with Sharia. It is plain hikmah. He's telling something which is illogical. What are you going to do? And many times it happened. So here, how do you turn the tables over without breaking the rules of Sharia and yet winning the debate? There are many such examples. That it's a thing that, now what's the answer? This person is talking nonsense. 2 + 2 is 5. What are you going to do? So if he says 2 + 2 is 5, okay, brother, no problem. Here, take 2,000, give me 5,000.